Hey guys, this is not on the anvil. Let's go ahead and do a quick lav check for the two of you. Go ahead. Tyler, why don't you introduce yourself? What's your name, Tyler?
My name is Funky Fresh Chicken.
Okay.
I only eat funky fresh chicken.
Yeah, this is not on the anvil, but that was baked into the. Don't be confused. It was baked into the pre-roll, but it's not on the anvil. Toby, what's your name, Toby?
I'm moist rotten turkey. Does that work? Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all are gunning for hamster, huh?
Yeah. We're just
I
all
have a weird
inspired
name.
for hamster.
How does everybody sound? We're using a new lav here and just making sure that everybody sounds balanced. Can you hear everybody clearly? Is anybody too loud? Are we getting that weird popping noise, or is everything working fine?
Is this my cue to scream into my love?
Please don't.
Okay.
Please don't. Sounds fine? Excellent. Please don't. All right. Hi. Welcome to the first stream of the of our 1 year anniversary.
It's ForgeCon!
We're calling it ForgeCon. There's the shout. All right. Let me drop that down a little bit. That looks like it peaked real bad.
Good.
Scream more.
I mean, yeah, we're testing the upper levels, but it's
So
ForgeCon.
for those of you who are tuning in and don't know, this week basically we decided to celebrate being on Twitch for a year, just because like how fun it's been. Just a combination of like going through Wildlands with like the feedback of you guys, and also just going through the pandemic where we've all had to be out of office for the most part. Being able to have that back and forth with everybody has been great. So we wanted to celebrate that by doing this week of streams that we feel kind of encapsulates everything that's special about Dwarven Forge and its community and what we've been doing on Twitch specifically, which is we're designing an entire game with you guys. We selected 3 players who were not allowed to watch the streams this week because we're building the rest of the game with you guys throughout this. We've already selected 6 builds that were sent in by you guys. 3 of them selected by us. The other 3 voted on by you guys. We actually ended up picking 10 altogether because various reasons.
We know how to count.
Yeah. And
5.
Tonight,
4,
what we're doing...
6.
Sorry, what?
Tonight, what we're doing is we're bringing back the Build Jam, which is a thing we did back in Wildlands. It was something we wanted to have as a regular part of our programming here, but the pandemic kind of got in the way of doing a lot of that. We did one during Wildlands. You guys seemed to like it, so we decided tonight we're going to have Toby and Tyler rematch and do another Build Jam, but this time it's to build the boss room of the game for Friday's game. And then tomorrow, Wednesday night, on the one that's actually on the anvil, we will be doing... It's the writer's room, where we will be programming all of the... programming? We'll be deciding like what's going to happen in each of the rooms, including the boss room, with feedback from you guys. Thursday, on our hobby hang, where we always paint and stuff, we're going to be painting the minis that the players are using. I think Toby just finished printing off the last ones. Cool.
Yep.
And then Friday is going to be this massive interactive game. So you guys started another hype train. Thank you. We're getting hype trains like consistently in these streams now, and it's really thank you. Having this level of support is very nice.
You can see it from the reflection of the background.
You can see it from
Are you watching you're watching the reflection of the
yeah. I was gonna say, do we have a?
I can set up the.
I was gonna say, do we have that set up?
Yeah.
I didn't know if we did or not. Keep doing what you're doing. I just.
Oh,
wanted
there's
to make
confetti
sure.
now.
There's confetti, yeah.
Hype.
There. Hopefully that didn't break anything, but you guys can see that now if you want. Right, so the way that this is going to work, we're going to give you a little bit of lore here. Part of this game and how we're justifying having all these random builds that you guys made be the dungeon crawl is we're setting this in the world of Dwarven Forge that we created last year when we started doing the games. We decided it would be nice to have some kind of justification for why we're doing all these random things. So we've made a world essentially where areas are constantly shifting, a modular world basically. And so this game is going to be taking place in a spot where all that modularity is super condensed and stuff's changing rapidly. So like they're going to have to clear each room within 20 to 30 minutes or it goes through a shift while they're still in it. So they basically go to the next room but take psychic damage. So it's just a way of making sure that we get through the game in time. But the boss room, our plan is to have it be 4 12x12 builds that are all put together. 12 by 12 builds with wildly different biomes. that are all smashed together. This is a room where that modularity is like just kicked into high gear, and this room makes no sense. Like one corner of it is like one thing, another corner of it is a wildly different thing. That's the general plan for the boss room. So Toby and Tyler, when they're done doing this, I'm going to show that off. When they're done doing this, are they kissing?
They both have 3 heads.
Yeah,
they're
can
brothers.
Kiss. No, they're
brothers.
Oh, they're brothers. Okay.
When they both,
Okay.
when they, so it's essentially that's the thing. Is it's going to be we're going to have 4 rounds of different biomes where Toby and Tyler are going to try and make the corner of that room basically, and you guys vote on which one goes through. I'm trying so hard to
rein us in.
No, it's
This
just
is like a
just get
15-minute intro.
It's not. It's been like maybe 5, yeah, 4 rounds where they're gonna build in a specific biome, and then you guys vote on which one goes in, and we move on to the next one, and then we're gonna have banter and just a lot of fun stuff in it. I had to get all this stuff out of the way now so that we don't have to do it later, basically. And tonight we will be giving away a starter dungeon.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing that giveaway about halfway through the stream, probably around 7 o'clock Eastern. After the second round, basically. After the second round, we'll do a giveaway.
Okie doke.
Yeah, so we've been trying to think of what the 4 biomes, what would be best for them. We want to do things that aren't really being covered by the builds we have so far. We were thinking it would be fun to do some mushroom or crystal caverns, because we don't have a lot of that in the builds that have been picked so far. We thought it would be really funny if one corner of the room is just the interior of a nice Tudor building. So I think we're definitely going to do that one for sure. You guys are saying air, earth, fire, and ice. I don't know if we have much for air. I guess we could do driftstones in one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
We don't really have any Air Thor in the builds up to this point, so we could do Air Thor. But yeah. Boss room, water rapids, and lava spiral. I was thinking free dungeons. No, we've already got some like dungeon rooms. We want to do like just some wild stuff. What are you doing?
It's Cerberus.
Castrate.
It's a Cerberus kebab.
Susulberus?
Yeah, Cerberus.
Okay. As you can see, we've got a nice Lazy Susan on the table, so we can display all of the builds as they go. Rabbit's Revenge has fire and ice. That is true. However, it's not like a lot of Hellscape or Ice Cavern, so we can probably get away with doing.
I mean, the colors, Yeah, but we're not going to be able to do that much more in a 12 by 12.
A sewer section would be good, actually.
Yeah. His colors.
Yeah.
Sewers would be cool.
How do you feel about doing a sewer section to start off?
Sure. I mean, that's
Cool.
kind of what we did last time.
Oh yeah, you could like combine sewer with
Swamp. We did sewer and swamp last time.
Oh,
It
we
was our
can't do
first-
swamp this time around, so. I
Yeah,
guess-
it's just, yeah.
Cool. So why don't we go ahead and
Yeah.
so so we're gonna grab the pieces for sewers real quick, and then we'll get going. I think sewer's a good spot to start. So we can do sewer, and then we can have like Tudor, which is just like a nice
Yeah.
city place.
Yeah.
The bottom 2 rows on the city one, or on the city builder rack are all sewer.
Cool. Excellent.
Pretty easy.
So our general plan for these is we're gonna grab like the bread and butter and put them out on a table next to them, and then if they want to grab like stuff to decorate it, we can always adjust this like later. But we want to see what cool layouts we can come up with. Showcase some of the more unusual things. I think it's partially.
Are
the
we
plan.
grabbing the pieces? What's going on? You stay here. You
know
run
better,
chat.
yeah.
We're gonna do it.
I'll
We're
entertain the crowd.
Jesus.
If you can't tell, we're gonna mute them while they're out there in case they say some mean things about me. Yeah. So they're gonna grab those real quick. They're gonna grab the bread and butter for the biomes, and then if they need to grab some stuff to like decorate it, they can do that pretty easy. We're gonna only run like 15 minutes per build, really, and so then we'll have time for evaluating and everything. Are there any questions or anything like the Crystal Caverns idea? So sewer Tudor. Crystal Caverns could be cool, because I don't think we have any Crystal Caverns yet. Didn't know Fruit of the Loom made face masks. Who has a Fruit of the Loom face mask?
I know. Maybe it's just.
Are they just saying that like you have a really nice one? What is?
No, I think it's. Oh, it's the tidy whitey.
Oh, it's the tidy-whitey. That makes sense. All right, that'll do it.
I'm not making fun of it. I'm just trying to
do
make
they
sense of
have
the.
masks that look like it's
Oh,
like
that would be so good.
and you have a little pocket where your nose can stick out of.
Oh man, yes, that'd be so good. Or you just
Let's
you
see.
just- it's a graphic that looks like a plumber's crack at the very
Oh,
top.
God.
The sewer could be multi-level with a tutor above it. So I think the thing is they all have to be at least floor level on one of the ends because they all need to be able to like move back and forth between. I think they can go like up in the corners and stuff.
Yeah. Makes
Okay.
sense.
But that's what I'd say is you've got two corners that need to
We've
connect.
got an L. We've got an L that we can actually have a wall on, and then an L that has to be floor.
Yeah, they don't
Okay.
and they don't have to all be walled off. Like you could just like have it go down to banks at the end because there's some biomes where like there's not really walls.
Sure.
So yeah, cool. We got all the sewers laid out. Let's go
We
ahead
get
and.
to choose. Are
What's
we
that?
going to choose which terrain tray, or is that?
So I just got 4 terrain trays just so that we would have terrain trays for the builds. I tried to get different ones so you have like options there.
Okay.
So if you want to, we can always change the terrain trays out later if we need to as well.
Okay.
It's not a big deal. I just put it there so that we would have it on hand.
We're good.
Cool. All right. So let's get ready in 3, 2, 1, go.
Fight.
Watch out for that lamp.
I'm,
Yeah.
No, my plan is to
Carefully
hit my
walk
head.
around. Please don't actually rush. 15 minutes is plenty of time.
So you
I
said.
don't want anybody to actually get hurt here. Let's see. We need Keystone Cops music. That's probably public domain, right?
What? Keystone Cops? I don't know who that is.
You don't know what Keystone Cops is?
Not off the top of my head.
Do you remember that skit? You remember that skit I made back in like 2011? The Dastardly skit.
Yes.
So that slapstick, that's like kind of a Keystone Cops like slapstick routine. It's like
okay.
super old.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Benny Hill. Do yakety sax. Is that public domain?
Yakety Sax? I don't know. I would imagine it was in every British TV show ever.
Is the Jeopardy is the Jeopardy thing public domain? Are we gonna get? Will we get copyright struck?
Look, you have the computer in front of you. Why are you talking out loud and not just like looking this up?
Benny Hill is amazing, but sadly not public domain. All right, that's unfortunate. Driftstones over lava.
What? What?
I can do this, right?
Wait, what did you grab?
Elevation blocks? Is that cheating?
No.
No, it's not cheating.
I don't care. Use them.
Yeah, if you want elevation blocks, you can have elevation blocks. That's fine.
That's not breaking anything. You're not like grabbing a grand arch or something like that and be like, there it is. I put a bridge of valor.
You're not just grabbing that massive like 3-foot tower out in the out in the room just to
I
drop
haven't
it.
had the courage to break it down yet because I know it's just going to eat up space.
That's fair. Giant spiders in the sewers. Yeah, minis and stuff we can always populate after. So when it comes to like minis and the monsters that'll be used, that'll probably be a thing that we come up with tomorrow night more than right now. But we can definitely generate ideas right now. Let's see. Also, Gibbering Mouther negative space build with Driftstones. That could be interesting. We could just like build some banks down and have a way to get up on the Driftstones. Imagine what I'm thinking. Keystone Cops, 1912 to 1917, very early black and white. Yeah. Yeah, like they're like pre-Charlie Chaplin. It's good stuff though. That's like where a lot of that slapstick. That's like where like a lot of the slapstick tropes developed. Please do some special prototypes of Dwarven Forge items that aren't for sale / didn't make it into the Kickstarter. I don't know if we'll do that here. I do know that one of the things we're planning to do months ago, if you remember, Nate showed this like massive sculpt we made for a purple worm that we ended up not making, and for a good reason. It's way too big. Like there's no way we could actually ever make it. But somebody said it would be fun to bust that out in one of these rooms, and he looked very excited about it. So I think it's likely that we might actually end up using that worm prototype in the game. So we'll have to see. Tomorrow night is when we're going to do all the writer's room stuff. Let's see. Oh, definitely use it. Everybody seems into that, so that's good. You could make it in resin. Even in resin, it's just like a... It's a massive, complicated piece.
In resin, it would probably be a little bit easier,
Yeah.
but not by much.
And the big thing is, would we sell enough to offset the the cost of production? Yeah. Choo choo. Have you seen that? What Forge World make? I don't. Forge World is. I know I've heard of them. Somebody posted in the Discord earlier. Somebody made this Baba Yaga hut that looks phenomenal. Royalty-free Benny Hill style alternative. Might just play this just for everybody else. How long is it? Let's see. 1 minute and 12 seconds. All right. Oh, you could do the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music while you're building. I'm sure somebody has like an hour-long like loop of just the boom 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 boom.
That sounds horrifying.
You just have that playing like for the audience the entire time.
That sounds like the worst idea ever. Oh man.
Let's see.
What am I doing?
Dwarven Forge's first miniature Kickstarter, the Purple Worm. We do a whole Kickstarter for one piece. The Baba Yaga hut, that's a 3D print, right? Yeah, it's for a place that only sells STL files, so you have to print it yourself. Tabletop audio is royalty free. Good to know. Loot Studios made the Baba Yaga. It looks very good. You're doing God's work. That's what you're doing. Let's see. Forge World make massive resin models. Do they do STLs or do they just do? Let's see. I'm gonna mute all of my notifications for various things so that they don't go off during the stream if I play music. So let's get all that stuff set up. Also gonna get Nightbot ready for when we do our giveaway. Man, I really like the sewers.
I like sewer surfing, you know, like
Sewer surfing?
yeah.
Dude, that's my favorite. It's my favorite X-Men. Wow, that was wrong on a couple levels, wasn't it?
I mean,
Is he an X-Man?
Who?
Silver Surfer?
No. No, his first appearance was in Fantastic Four.
I knew he was a Fantastic Four villain, but like they cross over so much.
He worked for Galactus, but he wasn't a villain.
Wasn't he like a villain for a bit?
No, it's like he's less of a villain than Namor. He was in the service of Galactus. He was coming to the Earth.
Namor is like evil Aquaman with a goatee.
He doesn't have a goatee.
Who's the one that's evil Aquaman with a goatee?
Namor is evil Aquaman, but he doesn't have a goatee.
Why did I think he had a goatee?
I have no clue.
Is there a version of him with a goatee?
Probably, like there's probably like a new Marvel or whatever, but he's usually clean shaven.
Will there be a new sewer set next Kickstarter? We're not planning on it.
This guy.
I'm sorry. This derailed fast. That's what happens during the builds, honestly. Things kind of
I'm like losing it. Whatever I'm trying to do.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All evil comic book characters have goatees. Eh? Someone doesn't know they're Marvel. I'm not massive. I also just
you spoke with authority, and then you asked a question, and then you're like, "Wait, he wasn't like this."
It's also just because it upsets you. like genuinely, most of the time when I talk about superhero stuff, it's just to upset you.
It's not even that difficult for you to do it either. Just
play 1977 Hobbit Roads Go Ever On. Ooh, is that royalty free? That probably is. Let's see. What's the difference between sewers and Undercity? Do we have Undercity pieces? I think Undercity is like a catch-all term for like sewers, catacombs. Do we have like an actual like Undercity pieces?
There's an Undercity pack on the store.
Okay. So I was like, I never knew a biome called Undercity.
We were thinking about calling it that.
Okay. So is there like a big difference?
No, the Undercity is the sewers. It was just a pack name.
Huh. Apparently, according to Kraid, Namor did have a goatee once. So it looks like I actually know Marvel better than you.
When did I ever say he didn't have a goatee? I even said, like, yeah, maybe in, like, a new Marvel thing.
Oh, all I'm hearing was you don't actually know your stuff. How can I get my older sewer sets to get magnets? A lot of people have actually modded their non-magnet sets to have magnets. It's not a terribly difficult mod most of the time. Maybe someday we'll redo them to have magnets, but I think aren't they like kind of thin to
So you've got this much of a base on it.
Yeah.
That base is the same that we would. It's a very similar base to a 1x2 that we put magnets in.
Yeah.
So like.
But these pieces can't have magnets.
But these ones can't. Yeah, the actual sewer floors can't because they're too thin.
Okay.
Well,
I guess the idea is down the drain.
You have an Undercity pack that looks a lot like the sewer pack. So is the Undercity pack just a specific composition of sewer pieces?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so the Undercity pack is just more sewer. It's just like
I don't know about more. I don't know quantities right now. I just mean like I just know it is a different composition.
But I guess what I mean is like it is in the sewer biome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Undercity was a pledge level that was a sewer set. Got it.
Oh, looks like you don't know your Dwarven Forge.
To that extent, no. I don't know all the names of like the old Kickstarters and stuff. Well, I mean, I know the names of the Kickstarters, but I don't know like all the packs that we offered once upon a time. Especially like this is the first time I've heard anybody mention the Undercity pack.
Right.
So a lot of these things, it kind of just you learn it as it comes up. There's a thread on the forum on how to add magnets to him, and the trick is you're kind of surface gluing them, so you have to slide them off, because if you lift them off, the magnets will pop off. Interesting. Make a Tarask. Is there a current Kickstarter? No, we're hoping to have one up at the end of the year. Around October is like what we're shooting for. It depends on how things go.
With how sewers works.
Huh?
What do you mean?
We are on this channel though. We do last week we actually showed like for the first time some of the stuff that we're working on for the next Kickstarter. So we kind of we kind of do like a behind the scenes thing for since Topulus Merc subscribed and used their subscription message to say since Topulus can't be here because he's a player in the game on Friday, so he's not allowed to watch this week's streams. Here's the required modular boat request. Yeah, so we show a lot of the stuff. This is kind of like this channel is generally used to show like a kind of behind the scenes of what we're working on and to talk about why we make the decisions we do, get feedback on things, figure out what you people are looking for. What are we working on for the next Kickstarter? The next Kickstarter is going to be a return to cities. We're jazzing up a lot of the old stuff and adding some new options. Last week's VOD, which you can find either on this channel or on the YouTube. If you search the YouTube,
I know.
I meant to say the YouTube channel. We also back up all these streams on the YouTube channel. If you search for Dwarven Forge Live, all one word on YouTube, it shows up pretty easy. We back them all up there if that's easier for you to catch up on things. But literally last week's On the Anvil, I think it was episode 37. It was called the City Planning Committee. We show off a lot of stuff there. We went over time because there was a lot to talk about. But yeah. Let's see. Is there a support group to help me not spend my entire paycheck on new Dwarven Forge? The Discord has a lot of people like that. However, we also have some people on the Discord who spend their time convincing people to spend money that they probably shouldn't.
They in no way, shape, or form work for the company.
They don't work for us, but
they do God's work.
Yes.
Or at least Doom's work.
They do our work for us a lot of the time. is what it is. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and plug the link to the Discord right there. If you guys want to check things out there. Can I work for you? No pay, just pieces. We get a lot of... We're going to need to start getting somewhere to, like, funnel all the, like, employment requests. Looks like we have about 1.5 minutes left on the timer. No pressure.
I feel so much pressure.
Let's
And
see.
you don't need an amount of bread.
Don't forget the forums. There is also the forums. check those. Has Dwarven Forge exploded recently? I feel like there's a lot more people buying Dwarven Forge. Do you see that, and are you growing? We've made an effort over the last year to try and reach out to communities that we haven't tried to reach out to before, and to try to be. We're really trying to be more transparent and more communicative. That's kind of what my entire job is to try and help us reach more people and make it easier for people to understand how our stuff works. Because with Dwarven Forge, there's like a couple things that usually get in the way of people who see our stuff for the first time. It can be pretty intimidating when you see it at first. And so helping you understand how easy to use the stuff actually is a big part of it. So I think the last year has been very good for us growth-wise. Just because we're putting a lot of effort into that we didn't before. I'm guessing Topulus is visibly vibrating on Discord. I'm sure they're all madly curious. I'm pretty sure all three of the players are going to be looking back at the streams once the game's over. The forum is a mine of info and builds. Yeah, the forum is really good for archiving all the interesting projects people do. The Discord is more of like a stream of consciousness. It's more like a chat room than it is in archive. So things move a bit slower on the forums, and it's easier to find threads of builds about specific things. That's that. If you guys need to just like finish up a corner or something, like go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just finishing up the floor idea real quick.
Let's see.
As you talked.
Critical Role has plugged Dwarven Forge Hella. Yeah, Critical Role's been one of our longest running partnerships for sure. Let's see. What city are you based in? We're in Brooklyn. We might be one of the only major companies in Brooklyn for tabletop stuff. It feels like so much tabletop is in LA. And a lot of printing and stuff can be in the Midwest and stuff, since that's easier when you don't have to like be there physically for things. I could have sworn. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and add this here.
Just need to do one more thing, and I think I'll be okay.
Let's see. Let's see. Bam. Enablers. Boom. There we go. Got a form thing. You're in Queens. Let me stop by. Definitely not right now, given the pandemic and all that. We're barely in the office at this point. Did we get to vote yet? No, we haven't started any voting yet. They're actually just building the first thing. Gen Con this year, if it happens, I don't know. It's going to depend on the state of everything, honestly.
I don't think we're like, even if it like some miraculous happens, people would actually grow. It's not a smart choice.
It's not a good.
Yeah.
We can't actively say yes.
Yeah. It's
as much as we want to.
Even if it technically happens, we still have to prioritize the safety of our staff. So it would depend on a lot of factors.
Various amounts of factors that we can't even think of at the moment.
Yeah. Although, yeah, Gen Con and PAX East are the Gen Con and PAX East. I think Adepticon. There's a couple conventions that we try to do every year, but just with the state of the world right now, it's hard to say. Get your first dose of vaccine tomorrow? That's excellent.
Cool. I am ready.
You ready?
Yeah, sure, why not? I'm ready.
All right, cool.
Close enough.
So we're going to go ahead and show things off here. When you're ready, go ahead and
like
put your build on the Lazy Susan there. Let's go ahead and start with Toby, since Tyler's fiddling with stuff.
I was just realizing I just wanted
You can go first,
to
either
make
way.
that. Go ahead, Toby.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh,
it's all good.
trembling.
It's good.
Just go ahead and rebuild what you need to rebuild. All right. Let's see.
Then it would just like topple in here.
It looks like Gen Con is happening?
Yeah.
Interesting.
If we had the waterfall piece, I would put like one there and one there.
For sure.
Perfect.
So yeah.
Let's go ahead and
you want me to
show
go
this
grab
thing
one real
off.
Sure, if you
Yeah,
want.
I'll grab them.
All right. So what do we got going on here?
Here, I made like a I want to make a multi-level thing, so I'll try to make.
So those 2 lower corners would go into the other rooms.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Waterfall here, and somehow there.
I think we got some tack.
Yeah, we can. So the idea would be to have a double waterfall.
Yeah. And I wanted to make an aqueduct of sewers.
Okay. So maybe we can custom paint some green waterfalls.
Yes. And by using the inside corner 4 times, you can kind of make a pillar.
Oh, interesting.
So I try to do that. And nice bunch of place for things to hide, and I didn't have something to make a ledge, but the water can pour into the the acid terrain tray texture thing.
Excellent.
So
Yeah.
there, that's my thing.
That's pretty sweet.
No, that's great.
All right, perfect. All right. And then let's get Tyler's up there. All right, what do we got here?
So, definitely not as illustrious, or it doesn't have as like verticality. That was the thing I was sort of racking my brain around. But I was thinking that there could be this central sort of funnel, and the reason I chose the gibbering mouther was something like that, or like a necrotic sludge or something. And so that's why they have these little ports inside. So like it would just be like pouring out the entire time. And so you have to like find ways. You have to find the plugs, and they would be like hidden around. You know, they'd be here and or just like around the walls and stuff like that. And it's like, or it could be in the other 3 rooms or something like that. Like you have to like try. I don't know.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
But that was the thought. Was that it's like you have to try to plug those up to keep the stuff from keep coming out.
Oh,
It could have like the you know the hand in the toilet in Majora's Mask. That, but with like a gibbering mouther, like.
And that would be the point of that's the point of that too, is that it's like it easily moves in these spaces, so you have to watch out. So you like have to like try to move around.
Oh, and it's cool. If it gets out here, you can like replace these with the gibbering mouther tiles as it fills up.
That could be really good.
Yeah, I like that. I like
Because I was trying to figure out a way to be like, you know, I don't want to just remove the piece and then like, there it is, that's it. It's like no, you could actually, or the Lemure pit or something like that. You could you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was actually thinking of the Lemire pit when.
It's all good.
When I was
But that's the
picturing
point, right?
Either
it's
one
like,
works. Yeah.
You can also skate in that build. Somebody's pointing out.
You can. As I said before, I enjoy sewer surfing.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start the poll.
I always like the idea of sewers and like making like ball courses.
All right.
Yeah. Oh God. You know what we should try to do? We should try to use these as a with the boulder.
Yeah.
All right. For the next 3 minutes, we're gonna have the poll going. So go ahead and select Tyler's or Toby's. Which one do you prefer to see in the build? Both of them have like very cool ideas. I like the idea of like doing
I like
whack-a-mole.
your sideways walls.
They can both be like really dynamic. I'm wondering how complicated this boss battle is
yeah,
going
the
to
thing.
be. If literally all of them
trap?
are oh, they're talking out there.
Yes.
If literally all of them are going to be their own like functioning build. Who's Tyler and who's Toby? Tyler is the guy with the white shirt who did the one with like the whack-a-mole like sewer grates in the bottom. Toby's in the black shirt who has the multi-tier build with the sewage falls.
It's a wedding sewer, okay?
Here we have an idea we wanted to show off.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, we put it on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just put this here. It kind of worked.
Toby Hawk's Pro Skater.
Toby Hawk's.
No,
good. Oh, here I got this. It's because it doesn't have any like vertical like incline or decline, but it's like it can do it. It can actually slide in the thing. That's so good. The two rollers are so good. Yes.
Where's Indy?
Oh.
Oh no! So if it had the stability, yeah. That's part of your build now. Okay. It's the thing that comes out of the it's the. Dude. That's actually so good. It's
I mean, I wish-
awesome. You just got to figure out that
Yeah.
side, and then that's fine. But I love it. It's so ridiculously unnecessary.
Okay.
It's so good.
People are saying we have to put the boulder in whichever build wins now, since it works in both.
Yes.
That's the thing. That's why I love the sewer so much. I think a lot of people don't realize how good they actually are.
Well, I mean, it's not against them. I mean, when it's harder to find, or if it's not in stock, it's not anybody else's fault. It's just the fact that they don't know it.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool flexibility. It'd be nice to. Every time I see somebody do something with it, it's always cool. You like the mousetrap game? Let's see. I have like 5 or 6 sewer sets, but never thought of going vertically. Dude, vertical is the best thing to do with Dwarven Forge, honestly. I think to combine the two ideas. Love the vertical, but fill the access sound is cool. All right, it looks like Toby takes this round.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I like your thing. So.
I like my thing too.
Like,
but
I really like the gibbering mouth first coming out of there. Like, once I saw it.
that's the thing. Is like it's a cool encounter idea, but I also really like your build. Like your build has enough verticality and difference. Mine's pretty flat, so like it'd be if we did something a little bit more interesting on the outer edge here, like along the track that like the gibbering mouther could work in.
Yeah.
Yeah. It needs a little bit more time to gestate.
I like this idea, though.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna put this away.
Yeah, so Toby takes the first round. Let's go ahead and
then
just
you
put these off to the side.
So where do you want that to be put? You want to take it somewhere?
Oh, we can
Yeah,
put
I'll
it.
take it somewhere.
No, yeah. Let's.
Okay.
I guess this is part of it now.
You know what? If it falls apart a little bit, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, we have it on camera.
Yeah.
Do you want help?
Yeah.
All right. Let's figure out the next theme. You missed the vote that popped up above chat, but let's try and fix it on the video. Can we add gibbering mouther holes and boulders to Toby's build? Like I said, we've got time to adjust things, so maybe we could do that. Say that, combine. I do like the rolling boulder. There's a lot of fun stuff, and that's like the one downside to this week, or to this whole project, is there's simply not enough space or time to do all of it in one game. But I'm very happy with the stuff that we are getting. For the next one, do you think we should do? Tutor next? Think we should do tutor
or
next?
something else. I don't know.
Okay. Up next, Crystal Mountain. You can do every build possible in 2 hours. Unfortunately, no. Let's see. Something with those portal doors from Caverns Deep. Portal doors. Tutor with driftstones. I was thinking it'd be fun if, like with all the chaos going on in the rest of the builds, there's just one corner that's just like a nice dining room or something. I think would be a lot of fun. Oh, I guess also let's go ahead and get this going. Turn that down a little bit.
I'm supposed to help you with things.
What are you thinking about, Toby?
No, I just wanted to pose nice for the camera for once.
Are we doing suit?
Yeah, Suit Tutor. Perfect music for building. This is just while they grab the rest of the pieces. So I think we're going to do Tutor next, and then we need to lock down for sure what the next things are going to be. I like the idea of either doing Caverns or Crystal, just to have that there. Just lava spewing from the middle of a bar. I don't think we're going to mix biomes too much. How can you not build a Dwarven Forge? We kind of have... We kind of have a shop that's like... We kind of have a room that's like that.
Of course.
Perfect. Is that all of the...
Well, that's all the core stuff that you need to build buildings.
Cool. Excellent. All right. I'm going to go ahead and stop the Benny Hill music. Wow, you guys did that in like just over a minute.
What, switching out?
Yeah, it's almost like you it's almost like you know where all this stuff is, and there's a effective system, like organizational system, behind the whole thing.
Oh.
All right. because I'm gonna go through your ideas here. So we're gonna do tutor at first here, and we're gonna go ahead and start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Oh.
Rebel 1.
Let's see. When you say dining room, do you mean a room that will dine on the player characters? Who knows? Saltar's bathroom. A tutor in where they can only escape with a funny anecdote.
Saltar's ballroom.
The ballroom.
What up?
Let's see. Tutor and driftstones equals houses in the astral sea. There's just... How would that even...
Come on down to Spencer's.
A corner of the room is just the astral sea somehow. Just a completely different plane. You like the background? Thanks, Miles. Oh, it's Miles. Hi, Miles. Yeah, the background is the backdrop that we printed out during the Wildlands Kickstarter that we haven't taken down yet because we don't really have anything else nice to put there at the moment. Tutor in where they can only escape with a funny anecdote that the peanut gallery decide if it's worthy. Tutor and driftstones equals houses in the astral... Oh, we already read that. You also share how you effectively store your Dwarven Forge for those of us who are running out of space for it all. We kind of have basically a Dewey Decimal System for all the pieces that Tyler came up with, where everything is kind of sorted neatly. We've got like racks upon racks of bins that all have... I'll actually show you what the bins look like real quick. Those. They all look like that. And
I'll figure I'd make a little pile.
as you can see, it's all like...
Yeah.
So the 2 is like which rack it's on the thing, and then like each one has like a number associated with it. And so all the pieces that are similar are next to each other. Is this new or old tutor? Like any new pieces? No, this is all classic CBS. This is all stuff that you can get in the store currently.
We won't be showing off anything new today in that regard.
Yeah, largely because we don't really have stuff we can use from the New City stuff yet. Like, we're not that far in development. SKUs. Those aren't really SKU related, but it's kind of similar to...
What?
Did you write down the SKUs on it?
Yeah, the SKUs are all on there.
Yeah.
I needed to make a system that it has the piece name, it has the SKU, and it has...
You know piece names?
Yeah.
I thought you just knew SKUs.
No, I know piece names.
Because you're always just...
I'm like, that's... Yeah, because I'm like, I'm having to always look at them. So it's just like I'm looking at everything.
It is on the Anvil like 2 weeks ago, Nate was just challenging him by shouting out like a piece, and Tyler has to say like, oh yeah, this is the SKU number for that piece.
No, so for the system, what was important about it was making sure that anybody could walk up, get a piece, and be able to put it back. Yeah. So I had to come up with a system that was like, all right, so it's got the SKU number. So if you look on the bottom of a piece that actually has a SKU, which not everything does, but like for the most part, you're going to find a SKU on the bottom of the piece, then that's the way you can put stuff back. If you look at a piece and you just know what it is, oh, that's a solid tutor wall. That's just a normal solid tutor wall. There's the piece name on the box as well, so that way you can figure it out that way. And then I also made a sort of filing system that I still have yet to print out, that if you followed the diagram, you'd be able to follow it. But most things follow a logical example. Like the corner posts are in the same box with the other corner posts, and they're going to be on the same row as the other corner posts. All the city walls are going to be right next to each other. The other way I did it for a city specifically was I put 1, 2, 3, the different three kinds of floors, and they fit on one rack when you put it right next to the stone. So the tutor and the stone, tutor's on the left, stone's on the right. So anytime you're going down the city thing, if you look on the left, you should be seeing tutor, and if you're looking on the right, you should be seeing stone.
Stone.
So,
yeah.
So after this, Feywilds and mountains. We don't have any mountains yet. I'm curious if we could.
We got Aranthor.
Well, I mean, like we don't have any mountain. We don't have any Aranthor in the rooms yet. So we could do Aranthor as one of the parts of the rooms.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
I know that we have mountain pieces. I just mean we don't have any in the game yet. So maybe we should do one of the corners as Aranthor.
Sure.
2 minutes left to build. We have 10 minutes left. They're good.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's.
I mean, I think we should get a little bit more time because this includes all the pegging things in.
This is
My favorite thing about this is you're having to set up all the pegs ahead of time based on what you're planning to do, which is kind of fun to see, like what you're planning to do early. Everything you own in a box, tutor left. Thank you, Mace.
Oof.
Tutor left, tutor left.
She must still be on that good.
It's true. She had her. I hope you're.
I've heard more about like.
I hope your
operations from her.
Yeah, I hope her operation went well today.
Anything I've done.
Toby's a serious man. Tyler, he's like just talking. LOL. Toby's not that serious.
What?
We're all
I'm
pretty.
so serious. I take fun.
It's true. It's true. You have the office nickname as the fun police. That's right.
Here for the viewer count. Thanks for coming by, Hoppy Hippo. I use clear shoebox totes. Yeah, if you both the forums and the Discord have like entire conversations dedicated just to storage, because storage is one of the most common problems anybody has with Dwarven Forge. Stuff takes up space pretty fast. It's not an operation, but thank you. I mean, I don't know. Anytime you go into a hospital, I get scared.
Mainly for the hospital.
They did that operation where they hit my knee with a little hammer.
Just goes in and just like.
Yeah, it's not an operation because they were operating on you. It was an operation to keep you contained. It was more like a
sting operation.
Yeah, it was more like a spec ops thing than like a medical operation.
Oh, that's a joke they never used in the B movie.
A sting operation?
Yeah.
That's because it was too good of a joke, and they're trying to satirize bad jokes. It would have undermined the artistic integrity of B movie. B movie had a vision, and that just didn't align with what they were trying to do. That's not the kind of jokes they were going for. I believe a sci-fi set is planned, but nothing confirmed about when at this point. Yeah, the thing with the sci-fi set is we wanted to make sure that we had the next Kickstarter lockdown first, and then we're still figuring out what we're going to do with the sci-fi set, but we are going to make one.
I figure it too.
We actually were planning to do an episode of On the Anvil next month where we kind of talk about where we're at with it, what we're thinking, and kind of canvas you guys to see where you're at with it.
Yeah.
Man. Let's see. Yo, thanks for all the gift subs, Grayson Graves. 5 gift subs, man. We're getting a lot of support today. Roll a D8 and see how many minutes they have left. Ironically enough, 8. What about Underdoom? We do have Underdoom in the. I think we have 2 different rooms that use Underdoom in the game already. So we don't really need to do Underdoom here. Although I guess we could throw some Driftstones in for fun in like basically any of these. But Underdoom is actually surprisingly well represented in the game.
I don't know about surprisingly. I think it's because it's one of those things that we don't even do a lot of.
Yo, Maraxis, thank you for the gift sub. I would love to play Betrayal. I'd love to play Betrayal at the House on the Hill, but you build each room with Dwarven Forge stuff as you play.
This person understands me.
Well, it's Miles, so that makes sense.
Oh. Miles does understand me. This is also a thing. This is also true. But yeah, I've had that exact idea. Is just like that could be so fun.
You're legit the first person to ever get my handle right. Haha. Maraxis 13. Well, I mean, you're clearly a Kingdom Hearts fan, so I just went with like what they would be called in Kingdom Hearts. I'm assuming that's what it is. They've literally got.
No, I'm not laughing at that.
There's literally 13 in Roman numerals at the end of it.
That's literally the best Kingdom Hearts game ever. Was Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, probably. I think 2 was like the best combination when it came to the gameplay and the story.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, I still haven't actually played 3 yet, so who's to say?
Me either.
Yeah.
It's actually a super old Magic the Gathering reference. Oh.
Cool.
I never played Magic until like 2 years ago. Maraxis 13.
Okay, I don't know. I know some of the older cards. And
the only card that's ever... Oh, sorry.
Has anything been said about the giveaway? The giveaway will actually be happening after this round, so probably in about 10 minutes we'll be doing the giveaway. We're giving away a starter dungeon tonight. We're doing a giveaway every night this week. Tomorrow night on the Anvil, we'll be giving away a basic Cavern core. And then Thursday at the Hobby Hang, we'll be giving away another starter dungeon, but it's an unpainted one, and it'll also come with a set of Picorni brushes and the Picorni paints that are relevant to painting a starter dungeon. So it's a nice little starter paint set with some pieces.
I'm sorry, Toby. You were saying that you know old
No, I was saying I know some old things, but I just don't know that one.
You're getting through Dragon Quest XI. It's excellent. It's another one that's on my list that like I have installed, but I haven't started it yet.
It's been good.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it.
I love Dragon Quest. I'm sure I'm going to be... Dragon Quest 3 is legitimately one of my favorite games of all time. And 8 is also extremely good and is probably on my list of favorite games of all time.
I want to get more into RPGs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, liking RPGs sucks. Because, like,
Did you want the LED
those are
on
the
outside?
longest games to get through.
No.
So when you want to play every big RPG that comes out, it's just such a time commitment.
I want to finally give.
Where is 6? Oh, yeah, I haven't seen...
Xenoblade
Is
a
6
shot.
here?
Oh yeah.
I thought I saw him
Xenoblade-
earlier. He's been on the Discord, at least.
Chris played a lot of Xenoblade, but I never.
I played through all the Xenoblades except for X because my Wii U broke while I was halfway through X.
Yeah.
I
mean,
I played
I always
through.
was curious, but then with the Smash character announced.
I played through the first one once. I played through
People
2.
like-
I have the way that I describe my feelings on Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is they're incredibly mixed, but every feeling that I have about it is extremely strong. Let's see. What are the giveaway rules? We'll be going through all that before we start it. We'll be going through it before we start it. Basically, the way that we run our giveaways is we announce like what a keyword is, so that you can, and then anybody who types that keyword into chat will be entered in the giveaway. We can only ship to a U.S. address. So if you're outside of the U.S., if you have somewhere we can ship it in the U.S. and then they can forward it to you or something, you can still enter. That's not a problem. I think that's basically it. It's pretty simple. Yeah, U.S. only. It'll be a starter dungeon tonight, and basically, if you win, I message you on here to get your email, and we get your address so we can ship it to you. Xenosaga, dude, Xenosaga and Xenogears are so good. Also, Legend of Mana, guys, Legend of Mana, like
Here we go
in
again.
June, it's
We
finally
already
being
talked about
revived.
this on Thursday.
I know, but
No.
I'm so excited. We're talking about RPGs in the chat. Super Mario RPG, Sonic the Hedgehog, Donkey Kong 3, Adventures of Lolo 1 and 2,
1 and 2. Wait,
King's Knight, Big Dog, Chew Man Fu.
what? It's a joke.
It's a great skit. Keyword. The keyword's going to be keyword tonight. No, we'll announce it. We'll pick it and announce it in a little over 3 minutes. Probably while we're voting. I'll probably start the giveaway while we vote. Xenogears is one of the best ever. Xenogears is so good. It's unbelievable how good that game is. But it's one of those ones that kind of... There's so many RPGs from like the PlayStation 1 era that like were incredibly innovative and did stuff that like hasn't really been done since, and they've kind of just faded away. Like Xenogears, Legend of Dragoon, Legend of Mana, Threads of Fate. There's a lot of really good JRPGs for the PS1 that like I really want to see kind of brought back. Can we pay the difference to be shipped outside the U.S. if we don't have anyone to forward it for us? The problem is it's less like a cost thing, and it's more regarding like giveaway rules get kind of weird when you cross over like multiple things, and so we've just been advised not to ship outside the U.S. for the giveaways. Ever play Illusion of Gaia? Illusion of Gaia is so good. That's one of the best ones on the Super Nintendo, and nobody talks about that because they talk about Chrono Trigger instead, which Chrono Trigger is also really good. But Illusion of Gaia, it's kind of got some Golden Sun vibes to it. Old school Sierra. Dude, I've had the King's Quest collection on my computer forever, and I've been meaning to revisit those games. Is tutor the giveaway keyword? We'll pick it when we get to it. Seiken Densetsu 3. I haven't played Seiken Densetsu.
It's good.
Is
Secret
it?
Mana 3. Or
Excellent.
Trials of Mana is what it actually is called. It's very good. It's one of my favorite games.
Trials of Mana. Right.
It's one of my absolute favorite of the Mana series. I thought the story.
I know
was really fun.
what is Trials. Yeah. I forgot that's... yeah. Got another minute. If you guys want to pretty them up.
Is there a good two-player RPG? Or
What's
multiplayer RPG?
funny about the Mana series is it is 2-player.
Secret of Mana, because
Secret of
Mana
Mana
is 3
and
player.
Trials of Mana both are 2-player.
Huh.
I'm trying to remember. I think Legend of Mana, you might be able to do 2-player as well. I can't remember. Did I miss the keyword tonight? No, the keyword will be given away in a few minutes. We haven't said it yet. Anyone play the more recent King's Quest game? I haven't played the new King's Quest yet, but I'm curious about it. Pretty them up. 2021 is a big year for RPGs. Yeah. Never played Secret of Mana, but my older brother did. I played through it again a couple years ago. It still holds up. It's a fun game. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy VI was 2-player. I forgot about that.
So was Final Fantasy. So was 9. I believe was also 2-player.
Yeah, I remember because when Colby and I played through it, we did that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it just Phantasy Star Online, dude. Phantasy Star Online was. I haven't played the new one.
Is that the one that was for the GameCube? That the only GameCube game that was multiplayer?
It was the Dreamcast.
But they also made it for the GameCube, and that was the only
Did
GameCube. Because that was the only GameCube game that actually had online.
Huh.
Because they used the broadband adapter that they released only for one game.
Not an RPG, but have you guys played Deep Rock Galactic? You've played it, haven't you?
Yeah, I love Deep Rock. It's fun.
Do you prefer one or the other for RPGs, tabletop versus video game? I like them all. They're different things, right? Like I think the point is, an RPG video game needs to be fairly well written, whereas a tabletop needs to be out of the way enough with its writing that like you can drive it. So I think they're very different to compare just because of the fact that I think when one tries to do what the other one does too much, like Octopath Traveler, I think it gets weird. Octopath Traveler very much feels like somebody trying to make an RPG out of like a D&D concept, but because you can't actually make up the story as you go, it doesn't work that well. All right, we ready to show off?
Yeah.
Final Fantasy Tactics is so good, man. I love Tactics. All right, ready to show it off?
Yeah.
All right, who wants to go first?
I'll go first this time.
Yeah. All right. I guess it's fair. We should trade around.
Yeah, I mean, why not? So the thing that Toby and I kind of said to each other as we started this was that like we're not going to be able to do a lot of like the flourishes that are important for a lot of the building of.
We can fancy it up after. That's fine.
Well, that's my point. Is that that's what we were saying. So, for instance, I have a magnetic wall here. Oh, I can't. I have a magnetic wall here.
Let me just go into full sniper mode. So we
and then inside, I also have another magnetic wall in here. And I think I put the LED wall here. So the point was that there's going to be a couple of spots within it that you could, and obviously staircase and stuff like. So there's a couple of spots where there would be trapdoors and other eldritch traps or things like that. I was kind of considering this to be like a wizard's mansion, right? Or some form of arcanist's mansion. And so we could put like the dragon head here, and that could like talk or be part of whatever either the riddle of the room is, or be a thing that like shoots out a fire breath as a trap. And the LED stuff too. You could put all the runic things, alchemy set, all that other stuff. The upstairs here would be like the arcanist is summoned. I was thinking about like somehow putting a summoning circle there or whatever. Like
I like the idea.
The end of whatever you're doing in this room brings out this person or brings out this thing.
Or either that, or maybe like there's someone there that is defending something that's there.
Right. Yeah, and that's kind of what the balcony's there for too. Like he like steps out and he's like, "Welcome to my mansion."
Yeah, we can do a really fun NPC thing with that.
Yeah.
Right. So that was kind of the idea, and then like maybe I was here where I put the ruin part. I was thinking of another level, like if there could be something that we could put up here. I didn't really get through all of that thought, but that would be my idea. Is that maybe there's something up here that you have to kind of like. You can't go through the balcony, so you have to go from below to get into this extra room to like get something that's up here. That's it. That's the
cool.
And you don't need the roof either, but like I just
put it back on.
Yeah.
And again, with the speed of these builds, we're looking at more like kind of like getting the outline in place, because we can flourish them up and make them look nicer afterwards. The point here is just trying to.
Nate's also going to want to. He's going to want to, like when you guys go through the writing of it.
Yeah.
That's what you guys are going to be building off of the writing for. It's like I want to see all this stuff.
Yeah, because tomorrow night we're going to take all these rooms and we're going to design what's actually happening in them. So that's when we'll be deciding what minis are going to be where, what kind of MacGuffins are going to be in there. So we're coming up with ideas right now, but we'll know for sure what's going on tomorrow, and we can always like fix these up a bit tomorrow. Cool. All right, let's get Toby's in there. What if they were on fire during play?
Yeah, that was there.
Okay.
So I made a multi-level thing. I feel like I'm just
That's
do the same thing.
what you're really good at. Man.
We're getting tired of elevation, Toby.
Yeah.
Who wants to go
Elevation
up?
sucks. No, like okay, so I was doing this and I had the idea in my head, but then as I was building, I just felt it was kind of No, but it's like it could be like there's on this, and then there's like either there's like it's like a maze, and you have to like chase down something to be able to fight enemy, or like you can use this to like for the anyone who has like long range in your party to get like a better.
Yeah. You know what would be interesting too is doing like a room that like because you have these multi levels and there's already 2 staircases, like what that makes me think of is this idea that like, hey, what if I have to walk a certain pattern? And so it's like if you go up the staircase, you end up back at the start of the room or something like that. Like you go up the wrong thing, or like you chutes and ladders this thing somehow, where it's sort of like, yeah, you stepped on this thing, you got to go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Or you like, or because it's all ruined floors, like if you don't go the right direction, you just break through. Because that's what I love about like the 2 floor thing. The like unfortunate part is like all of the. No. There's no one. Sorry, I was like, oh, is that gonna? No, that's still so fun. Like that's awesome. Like,
I don't know what yours.
I don't know either.
I like how much advocating you always end up doing for Toby's build.
I was doing some. I was doing it for his. Well,
he was doing it. This is just fun. Like build jam is not a build fight. Actually, it's why jam is in the title. It's like,
I honestly like. I think this is a much harder one for me to decide on between the 2. They're both like very strong concepts. They both use elevation pretty well. They both
you could also
use
do like a King of the Mountain thing.
Yeah.
You have to like hold this. You have to hold this for X amount of rounds, and there's always a thing that's like is gonna like all these creatures have like a plus 15 to grapple and throw checks or something like that. So they just grapple you and they just chuck.
They're
you
just
backward.
like wrestler minis.
Yeah,
They just like suplex you off.
I'm like seeing like an American what is it, the American Warrior, like the 80s that like 80s show that like American Gladiator. That's what I'm thinking of like as I'm seeing this.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start the vote for these 2. Let's see.
Just different ideas.
Yeah.
Like yours is gonna be so cool in combat, and mine's much more of like a puzzle room. So it's
I like the idea of like this.
All right.
Off that
All right.
guy.
This will be going for 3 minutes, and while the vote's going, let's also go ahead and get the giveaway going. What word should we use for this? I kind of like the idea of going meta and using keyword as the keyword.
I said that. Yeah.
You said that?
Yeah.
Should we just do that?
Taking his idea.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. What do you think we should do? Horror puzzle jam. We could use jam as the word. Let's use jam as the word.
Okay, cool. Jam.
Cool. All right.
Jelly.
It is in from this point forward. If you type in jam in chat, you'll be entered to win a starter dungeon. You'll be entered to win a starter dungeon. We can only ship to the U.S. So if you live overseas, if you have somebody that we can ship it to in the U.S. and they can forward it to you, that's totally fine. We're just only able to ship to U.S., but it'll be a starter dungeon. Wow, this is really popping off. We've got a really good turnout tonight.
It's ForgeCon.
It's actually kind of blowing my mind a little bit. Yeah. I'm trying to keep up with everybody. Can I type in jelly instead? Unfortunately, no. This robot is not capable of wordplay. Which actually, I'm kind of glad. If they get to the point where they can start doing wordplay, we're rapidly approaching the singularity, I think.
Wait,
That's not worrying.
There's
That's
a robot?
great.
What's that?
There's a robot?
Well, it's Nightbot. Nightbot's the one running this giveaway for us.
Chris, that's a good feature for you.
What?
Singularity. That's a good feature for you.
A good future as the singularity? I'm missing it. Are you saying I'm always going to be single?
No, I'm saying that you're going to be you're a robot.
You're saying I'm a robot?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
That's just mean. That's not even funny.
It could be. If I was better at making jokes. If I was better at constructing this shit, yeah, it would be better.
If I put it in twice, does it negate me? No, we don't have it disqualify people if they type it in twice. However, it does spam up the chat a little bit. It's not case sensitive either, so it doesn't matter.
It jams it up.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not case sensitive. It also doesn't matter if you type it in a sentence or anything. As long as JAM is together at some point in one of your messages, you're entered in the giveaway.
January.
January.
Jamboree.
Yeah.
Jamboree. You could type Jamboree and I think it would still work. Yeah. Yay, Tyler with his jam joke. See, now people are trying to back you up.
Thank you. Let's
Let's
it's
see.
only because of me that I'm here.
Robot Matthew Broderick.
So,
it's war games, but he's actually like the computer.
Very good.
Hello, would you like to play Global Thermonuclear War?
The movie's really good.
Man, the Matthew Broderick impression doesn't work as well when you can't see the mouth. You gotta be honest. A lot of it's in his mouth.
And his dead eyes.
Wow. Toby barely eked this one out.
Hey!
Looks like we're going with Toby's build here.
Nice.
Wait, really? Space Jam? Space Jam will also work. So because of that, all right, 10 more.
You can't.
All right, 30 more seconds before I roll the giveaway. Let's go ahead and get that build reserved. When I get back from saving Toby's build, we will roll the giveaway. I will start the music, and we will bring out the Aaron pieces.
So you have to save this, right?
Yeah.
No, I can't help it.
All right.
Okay, so
I'm just gonna start tearing mine down.
next is Aaron Thor.
Yeah, we'll do Aaron Thor
Cool.
next, because that seems like a good thing to do since we're
Yeah.
having Aaron Thor pieces. So I'll go put this away, and then I'll get back, and we'll
Let
get
me
more.
help you.
Thank you.
These are all 4 different things.
Yeah, that's why I sent them differently.
Okay, makes sense. You and your logic.
So I can do this for
You're
real
fired.
then. Okay. Actually, I can stay like that until it goes in the box.
All right, let's roll this giveaway. Where is it? There it is. We have 122 people entered. All right, and Pretty Barbaric. Pretty Barbaric, you have won the giveaway.
Pretty barbaric!
I'm gonna go ahead and whisper you so we can
Why am I
get.
putting away now?
Come on and slam, and welcome to Build Jam.
Didn't
There
we?
we go. What's up?
We started the last one like that, right?
I
Well,
don't know,
remember-
actually.
Yeah.
Well, remember how on the final day of the Wildlands Kickstarter, we just played. We played like the slow motion Space Jam song on loop.
Space.
We should not get away with this stuff.
All right, Pretty Barbaric. I am messaging you real quick to
It's
get
not
your
about the
email so I can
giveaway.
reach out to you.
Oh, what? It's not editing.
All right, you've been messaged. Thank you so much for streaming this fun build. Absolutely, and you know what? We still got 2 more coming, baby. Let's go ahead and let's start the fun music. I actually can't even hear the music. But I'm assuming it's fun. It seems like you guys are enjoying it.
What?
So we're that's what we're doing. Let's see. Perfect. I will email you after the stream. The hell with the demon. He stole my win. What happened with the hobby hang that got silenced for a song Christopher Hamster started humming? It was funny. Hamster was playing music that was on a playlist that was supposed to be specifically... So that hobby hang, Hamster was playing music that was specifically on a playlist that was supposed to be a Twitch-safe playlist that wouldn't get you muted or copyright struck or anything, and we got muted for it. And it's like, this is explicitly something that was made to be okay. I'm hoping that this is also fine. I'm assuming it's fine. I can't imagine it would be here otherwise. Yeah. So, like, I looked at the page and it seemed like everything. It seemed like this song should be okay. So yeah, I don't know what it was. So we switched over to using Amy Waters' music for the most part, because Amy Waters is a friend of mine. She's a really great composer, and she specifically says that streamers, YouTubers, and all that can use her music. So we started using that for the stream because I know we won't get dinged, and if we do get dinged for some reason, I personally know I personally know her, so I can like ask her to say, "Hey, can you just like release this real quick?" As opposed to us trying to reach out to whatever song we got dinged for before. Oh, that makes sense.
It's all on this one. There's a lot of things.
That makes complete sense. The official Twitch gaming stream muted their own Metallica concert live stream. Yeah, I saw that. That was hilarious. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. What happened?
At BlizzCon, they had Metallica perform, and Twitch Twitch Gaming, as they were live streaming BlizzCon, muted Metallica and started playing like this weird Minecraft sounding music over Metallica, because they muted. It's very funny.
Oh, the one that just happened recently?
The one that just happened a couple days ago.
Week, yeah.
Yeah, BlizzCon a couple days ago. It's so odd that I don't even think if it had copyright anybody would claim it. That's fair. Cool. All right, the music's done. That did not take you guys long either. Let's see. Amy Waters is great. Yes. It's royalty free. Benny Hill. Yeah, that Benny Hill alternative music. All right. So, are we ready to start? I don't think we're missing anything. I think we're ready to just go into the next build. We're doing Aaron Thor this time. All right, guys.
Oh, that's
3, 2, 1. Funny.
Funny? I don't know how to funny.
Let's go.
I feel like I have a... It's not fair that I'm always
It's
right
a Benny. It's a Benny.
It doesn't take me much time. Don't worry.
It's a Benny Hill alternative. It's a Bernard Clifton. Something like that. Man, thank you for all the follows today. It is really wild how big the turnout and like our follower and sub count has been skyrocketing today. It's been really wild. Thank you guys for all the support so far.
Thank you for your thoughts and prayers.
No. Question about Dwarven Forge miniatures. Will you ever bring back the old orc and skeleton miniatures? The problem is they don't generally sell as well. So having...
Yeah.
It's the problem with a lot of the older... We're trying to revitalize the store so that we can get as much of our stuff actually in stock as possible. It's something we've been doing over the last year. Really trying to revamp things. The new Caverns core sets were a part of that initiative to try and start making the store better. There's a lot of stuff where it's been hard to restock for multiple reasons. It's something we've talked about on the show a couple times. It's a very complicated thing with mold configurations and production numbers, the cost for doing production runs, the minimum that we need to actually order in order for it to be like cost effective, and all that. So the answer is we don't currently have plans to, but I wouldn't say that like we're done with them because we're trying to bring stuff back, so we don't know if we'll be able to bring it back in the future, basically.
It's as everything, right? It's just that like we've got to figure out how to do some of the new stuff, and we've also got to figure out how to make sure that we. Sorry, I started a sentence and then had to start thinking.
I started talking and then I had to try and figure out what I was saying.
Yeah, no. It's pretty much exactly what you said. Is why I stopped talking. Like it's really just that we've got a lot of stuff that we've got to make sure that we. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah.
But bunch of different factors that key into the idea of what is necessary to redo.
Yeah.
We're in reconfiguration of a lot of sets right now. Anyway, like we're trying to look at all of the past and say what in here is working and what needs to change.
Yeah. For a long time, the store was not really much of a concern, and we're trying to revamp a lot of that and make it a more core part of our business model and have things in stock more often and have a wider variety of things in stock. And
honestly, I do love it as an idea. Like, I can already think of a puzzle that would be great with, but like, it's so good.
just actually put them on for a second.
It's just those.
It's like you just have to walk by. They're not threatening, but if they don't like getting bumped, so you just have to say, "Excuse me."
Oh my god, that's so good.
Okay.
Oops, all primordials. Let's see. What's actually talking about being a concern? Just kind of general ones. There's a lot of stuff that, because initially, when we run these Kickstarters, the factory lays out their molds based on what the most efficient, cost-effective way is for them to make all the pieces that we need to send people for the Kickstarter. The problem is that doesn't always mean that the molds are laid out in a way that makes it easy to restock sets for the store. And so it's something we've been trying to reconcile and go back and fix. And that's partially why there's new Cavern sets that we launched a couple months ago. It was an effort to make it easier, to make new molds that would help us restock Caverns pieces more easily.
Elementals in a
So
barrel.
that's the thing. It's a project that we're trying to do is go back through our
Looks like a
entire back catalog
Rocky Pillar at this point.
and re-optimize it for the store so we can have more stuff in stock, basically. Looking forward to the store revamp. I recently got into Dwarven Forge in December and really want to get the entrance riser for Caverns Deep. Yeah, I'm excited for the store revamp too. Honestly, it looks really good. We're getting very close to launching the new site and store, and I think it's going to make it a lot easier for both you guys and us, honestly. It's going to just be way more functional, way easier to find things.
That's what I was working on just before.
Yeah, literally, like, Tyler's been working a lot on that, and he was working on that all day until the stream started. That's a good thing. It's about the pieces, not the sets. It's mostly about mold configurations, yeah. I know it's a long shot, but will the new city Kickstarter possibly have a modular boat? WizKids had the Fallen Star, but it's just one level. It'd be cool if Dwarven Forge made a multi-level one. So we've talked about making... It's a conversation that's come up. The thing is, with a modular ship, for us to do it right and do it fully the way that we want, it would likely have to be in a Kickstarter where that could be almost like the main focus of it. Because it'd be a very large piece count and a pretty big undertaking. Because we'd want to do some really massive stuff with it. So we're not planning to do it in this next Kickstarter, but we've messed with the idea of possibly doing a Kickstarter in the future where we're like having like a big modular ship system could be a part of that. But currently it is not planned for the new Kickstarter, and we can't give any definite plans on it. So that's the thing. Given enough time and enough resources, we will make everything you could possibly want. However, we have limited time and resources, and so we try to make sure that with every Kickstarter, we pick one thing in a reasonable enough scope that we can just do it to its fullest. And we don't want to have to come back to something and fix stuff. Like we want to make systems that really stand on their own, and that means keeping the scope limited enough that we can really focus on the things that we're doing. Will it ever be possible to purchase individual pieces? It's really difficult to do that. Like, most likely not.
If you're talking like a la carte, piece by piece, no.
The only thing where that could be a thing is when it's literally like a big massive piece that is.
Well, yeah, showpieces are different in that regard. Like getting using Wildlands as an example, the Oblivion Nexus is most likely, when it goes to the store, going to be exactly how it was represented in the Kickstarter, where it's by itself. And I don't know if it's going into the store. I'm not saying that. I just mean we don't know too much about how that translation is going just yet. But the fact remains that, like, when you're dealing with these big pieces like that, that's probably the closest you'll ever get to a la carte. But we're also trying to do different things with, especially as we're moving forward, we're attempting to visualize it in a different way, in a way that makes more sense, and as a composition is more beneficial not only to our factory, but to the customer and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the main thing. As nice as it would be if we could sell pieces individually, it's just not workable. Your sword would be confusing because it's by single pieces. My gosh, that would be huge. Yeah, we're already like, it's already hard enough for people who don't know our stuff to come in and look at it and understand what they should get. Which is also why we're trying to revamp these packs to be in sets where, like, you can get a set and every set has a purpose and has something you can do with it. And yeah, we're trying to make it as accessible as possible, because accessibility has also been a big thing we've been talking about, how to make our stuff as accessible as possible. But you should get everything. What's the time frame of the new store launch? I've noticed once things get brought out in store, the items are put on eBay for ridiculous amounts. Yeah, we're really not into. We don't like it. Yeah, we don't like it when people scalp.
Yeah.
It's not a thing we're into. It's why when we do some restocks, we will put limits on how much somebody can get of a thing to try and stop people from just buying out like literally an entire thing and then putting it up on the store. Yeah, we're not fans of scalpers.
Another elevation.
More stock store would discourage this and put more money in your pocket. So that's one of the things that we're trying to do, right? Like the goal with like the new Caverns core stuff is we want to have enough. We want to be able to stock enough of like these basic core sets that they are just always in stock in the store. Like ideally, we would love to never see basic caverns and like starter dungeons and stuff like that be out of stock. If we can have that stuff always be there, and then the only stuff that ever gets out of stock is some specialty stuff that, you know, we maybe restock once a year or something, that would be ideal. But also, we only have so much warehouse space, and so we can't have stuff just sitting around forever taking up space. It will be easier once the new store is in place, though, to be able to sort through like what's in stock and what's out of stock. We know that's a big thing people have been complaining about, and that's one of the things that we're planning to fix. As far as the time frame for it, I think it really is like imminent, right? It's super close.
It's very close.
Yeah.
I will not give an exact date.
We're not going to give an exact date because it's like going through the last QA stuff, but that's like the thing. Is like we're basically at the part where we're just making sure it's all working before we put it up. It's close. The build of the month sets are great for showcasing pieces. Yeah, the build of the month has been increasingly becoming like a pretty good thing for us. So we've been learning a lot about what makes a good build of the month set and the best way for us to advertise it. The last one performed incredibly well. Like we sold out of it in less than a week, and it was the most we had ever stocked of a build of the month, which was wild. Let's see. Sly Flourish's guide definitely helped me when I was researching. The starter set section of your store helped me in deciding as well. Yeah, Sly Flourish is one of the best people. I point people to him a lot when we get new people in the Discord. Like during Wildlands, he was incredibly helpful. A lot of people in the Discord were really helpful, actually. But he was one of the people who, the way that his mind works, he's very good at looking at what we're offering in the Kickstarter and looking at our compositions and being like, if what you're trying to do is get the most bang for your buck, like if you're on a budget, if you get like this thing with these things, you've got a lot of modularity and all that. He's got a great mind for that kind of stuff. Is there any ideas planned for the next build of the month? No. Next build of the month is a sewer thing, right? They built it on stream. I'm pretty sure it's a sewer build. We actually streamed the building of the build of the month on this channel, and we kind of build it collaboratively with the viewers. They give out ideas for storylines and like cool little tricks that we can do. And so hey, if you like the build of the month, it's usually the first Tuesday of every month is the build of the month stream. Building of the build of the month, I should say. Mike Shea rocks. Yeah, we love Mike Shea. So yeah, the next one is sewers, I'm pretty sure. Sewers with caverns. Got it. I'm not in those streams, so I try to keep up on it, but sometimes stuff gets past me. We're also trying to get like 2 builds ahead if we can, just so that we have like a little bit of wiggle room. Would you ever do Unpainted build of the month? If there was enough stock for it, maybe. I think we have offered Unpainted at one point. The thing is, with build of the month, what we do is we try to make them out of sets that we have in the store already. Like, we don't order new product for the build of the month. We look at what's in the store and we're like, you know what? We could combine these 2 sets to make a really cool thing. So it depends on what we have in stock. I think with the ice one, like, we didn't have enough of the relevant sets in Unpainted to really offer an Unpainted option, I think is what happened. You're new to Twitch. It's the second time you're using it. Yeah, that's not a problem. A lot of our supporters who've been here for a long time actually kind of followed us to Twitch and hadn't really used it before. So it's really not a problem. They're on the third build jam. Aranthor themed for Sassuars. The second was Tudor buildings. Yeah. Love the YouTube videos of how to use pieces. Yeah. You'd like to see the Tudor? Well, you can always check out the VOD afterwards. The Tudor builds, I think, were my favorites so far. Although the sewer builds are really cool. I don't know. You guys know how to use this stuff in ways that I don't, which is nice. Had not used Twitch until around this time last year. Yeah. I wonder why. I wonder what happened a year ago to make you start using Twitch. Rabbit. Son has been asking you to buy a village. I think we're restocking. Well, we don't have the restock plan yet, but I know we try to keep city stuff in store pretty often. My first time catching the live stream actually live. Oh, that's excellent.
That's it? I think there was a village. Sorry, I'm just...
Yours is going to be...
Seems like you guys are going for very different stuff, which is always exciting.
Able to fit on that for sure.
Hmm?
That stuff looks very different.
No, I was just talking about the restock.
Okay, well, you've got 1 second, so...
Starting to like think about sample builds.
How are you guys looking?
Restore.
I didn't have a great idea on this one.
Can I just
it looks cool from a glance.
I like it. I didn't even
But
think
like,
about using
I feel like I'm
space.
good. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, if there's any like little last minute adjustments, go ahead. Since you went first last time, we got Toby go first this time. If you wanted to dabble with it at all.
Okay, I will try to attempt to get this on. I stacked too many pieces.
That's fair. That is a big. If you need help, I can.
If you want, I can. Yeah, I was gonna say I can probably do it. So.
You can put it on the.
Yeah. He's just gonna move that, and then you just shift that way. That's good.
It's not you.
Okay.
Hang on. All right, are we back? Okay, we're back now. I had to turn it off and turn it back on, and now we're back. It just like randomly cut out for some reason. Yeah. How much did you lose? Did you lose his description of the thing? Did you see that there's the Earth Elemental in there?
I love my Earth Elemental village.
All of it? Literally all of it? Okay, so we gotta showcase this again.
And put him here.
Oh yeah, do that.
Okay, so the Earth Elemental's hiding out in the cave there.
Yeah.
Let's see. You can see, yeah, Earth Elemental's like hiding out in there. Boom.
It's like those little animatronics that were like, your car comes in.
Like in a scary house. It's so good.
And then like it turns away.
There's so much going on in that build.
I just started stacking and not think.
Benny Hill just copyright claimed you from the grave. That's good. All right, so that was that one. It's an insane mountain build. Yeah, and then we've got...
So I was working more on the negative space here.
I like that idea.
Now, that's a little bit nicer.
We can just use a couple pieces to like fuse it with the other room a bit.
No, this fell off.
Oh, yeah.
Did this fall off from there?
No, I think
No,
it was just
that's
an extra piece.
okay. Yeah.
But that was what I was trying to think of, like maybe some extra levels or something like that, like something to put here, or see if there was a way to differentiate some of these like blocks and have a way to like, I don't know. I was thinking that it would be, if I had like a wall or something to put right there, I would have put it, and then points of interest. I guess that's what I was trying to look at as well. It's like what could we make points of interest with a hazard in between? That's kind of like, it's not about fetching quest necessarily, but it's sort of like what is it about this negative space that was part of the danger? And I think that was one of it was. And I was thinking, some like lava croc, or and I just chuckled about it with.
I want to
just cut one in half. I just want to cut one of these guys in half and then just have him like, like across the
We used to have
lava.
a casting of half a crocodile that you can put in like lava or water and stuff like that. I don't know where that went.
A big monster coming out of the lava in the middle would work with that build. Oh, that's where we could put the worm.
Right, yeah, that's what I
worm.
mean. Is that like, you could do. That's what I mean. Is it like the particulars of like what is around here?
Yeah.
I'm not entirely certain on, but I knew that it was like some of the floor is lava kind of stuff. It's like you just gotta try to hop between these spots to do something.
The floor is most certainly lava.
It in fact is lava.
Excellent. And yeah, just to reiterate, this is all just KS4 Aranthor. This is none of the Wildlands stuff.
None of the Wildlands.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get the vote started for this one. Let's see.
But what's cool about yours is like you basically need like a stair as well.
Oh, I didn't realize it was
Build
a
is going for 3 minutes.
I always wanted to do is make a tall tower.
Where are
of these
people
with, like,
voting? You
10
should
lights on
see
top, so
the
it looks like a
poll
round
kind of dropping
tower.
down over the chat. You can select your option there. Top of chat, it might have minimized. Oh wow, this is like a dead tie right now. Literally, everybody's like going up one at a time.
You could. Oh, dude, shit. You know what you could do? Now that I'm realizing it, if you could curve the Aranthor around it, you could still just make a tower, and then just like it's just
Yeah.
there for structure on the crenellations, and you just build up to the crenellation.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of like if you do that in the tower and then do the walls, then you can use the passages from KS2 as like
Oh,
crenellations.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could. Shit.
I did that for the castle. I did for the Hellgate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because with the lava ones, there's like, kind of looks cool.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Switch it for a purple crystal cave tray. Let's see. That's the thing is the trays we can easily swap out. We just needed to have trays there for. Although I think the lava one is
I like
part of the point of that build.
Yeah, I mean that was what I was trying to do. I was trying to be like,
Yeah,
it's
I like
the
that.
same thing that I did with the first one too. Is I was like, you know what? Why not just try to? Why not try it?
It is literally
no, I like
staying at 50%. Like it is staying just in a dead heat. Arm wrestle if we tie.
I don't want to do that. I don't need to be.
I don't know if there's
I
enough
don't need
space
to be
for it.
shamed.
Arm wrestle on the
camera.
lazy Susan, so it's just like you have no actual Twitch chat inside.
Hey.
Just got here. What did I miss? We're currently voting on the third build. I guess there's still like 60 seconds left, so I will.
Let me get some water.
That's cheating.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Really quickly.
That's the part that's cheating. Not you being closer
If
to
you're
the
hydrated,
racks.
it gives you an advantage on your builds.
Yeah.
So you got Tyler's right there. So that one right there is Tyler, and then
Lava boat.
and this one right here. That right there is Toby. It's got an earth elemental and some mushrooms. That's what those two are. What are we gonna do for the last one? We could do ice. We could do.
We could do ice.
Yeah, we don't have a ton of ice. The only ice that we've got the ice walls in rabbits, but he didn't really use ice caverns in his build.
Yeah, so I think that's fine, yeah.
Yeah, we have ice caverns as an entrance in one of the builds, but the main build is like a resin interior. Crystal caves and drift stones.
Don't have enough crystal caverns right now.
Yeah.
We don't have enough crystal caverns.
No, not
No.
for two people to make a build.
That's fair. Wow. Toby by 1 vote.
What?
Hey, there you go.
Seriously?
Oh wait, no, by 5 votes apparently.
Hey.
It was really close. It was the closest by far. It was 53 to 47%.
Wow.
Wow. Light panel theme. Oh. Should we do it? I think the problem with light panel is that then that makes an elevation issue with the rest of the build. If it's also the light panels are 8x8. That might be rough to work in.
You could do something. It's just again don't.
It'd be rough to work with right now.
Yeah, we don't have enough, and we'd have to go collect them.
Also, light panel just feel like it needs a lot of planning.
Because you need to know what kind of color stuff you're trying to work with. And...
Was that an intentional Wilson wow?
Wow.
Did somebody go wow? Wow. Okay, so Crystal Caverns we can't do. Dread Hollow, Icy Burrows. Oh, did we do a Burrows build?
Yeah, we have enough of that we could do.
How do you do burrows as a corner of a room?
I don't know.
Does that make sense?
Unless you start with like the broken in, what's called the dungeon wall.
The breakthrough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have those. So like, yeah, you could use a cave opening.
Yeah, we currently don't have any burrows in the game at all.
Oh.
Do you think it makes does burrows function as a way to do a corner of a room?
Thinking.
But
what time are we at?
7:35. We're going for about another half hour, guys. We just got one more build to go.
Why don't we take an extra minute and just think? Because we've got a little bit of time.
burrows makes for more of a encounter anyway, not like a boss room.
That's the thing I'm trying to figure out is will it blend with the concept of these being four corners kind of pushed together?
Well, the main conceit of this four corners is that they're already disparate if you think about it.
Yeah,
this mountain with that tutor with the original sewers are arguably three different things smashed together. So a burrows in that way is not going to be that off.
Yeah, it's not like thematically. Like thematically, I'm fine with it. It's just do the pieces literally work is the main thing.
The problem with burrows is that you work a lot in negativity.
Yeah.
You work a lot in like the space between the burrows. So it's like in a 12 by 12, you're probably not getting a very interesting burrow.
Okay.
Because those pieces are like this. They like one piece takes up that much, and if you're just doing a bunch of tunnels, that could be that you could do, right? Like you could do like, hey, this is just a bunch of tunnel work, and I'm already realizing that it could be done and it could be fun, but like it's probably going to be a little tougher to do.
How about a temple portion so the big bad has a place to relax? Let's see.
We've already done dungeons and other stuff though, right? Like that's why you want to do these.
We have a fair amount of dungeons, so we're trying to do like more unusual builds. So I think we can do full ice caverns. We can do.
The only other thing you have that we haven't done is a castle.
Is a what?
Castle.
Man, would castle function?
I have a thought on it.
Is it something you want to do?
I would say both in Burrows and in Castle, I'd basically confer with Toby, and we would say to each other, yeah, we're going to try to do something like this, but I feel like that's just going to end up with the same room. For Burrows, you would just use tunnels, and you don't do the bigger parts of it, and you just you do some amalgamation of that. And for a castle, we could do a half tower, so we just make it just half, right? So it's opened up, and it's this thing, and you could also put a ruined side on it if you wanted to. But that's the biggest thing. That's the only way I can see that really working.
Ruined castle that fell underground and landed on a temple.
Well, we could also open up to you could put dungeon floor on half of the thing, and then that tower is sitting against it on that. But that's the best I can think of.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I don't know.
So we can't. We've already done a bunch of caverns and dungeon in the other builds.
We've got a fair amount of dungeon.
Okay.
Why don't we just do ice?
Just do ice cavern?
Yeah.
Let's just do ice.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do ice. And maybe we can, if somebody decides they want to put some castle in the ice, then let's go for it. But yeah. All right. Let's get that music going.
We'll leave the mountain
That's a good point. We can also just move it to.
You help them with your...
Yeah. Move this real quick. Well. Well, at least we were playing the right music. That's, you know how to rebuild it, right? We're fine. How big are the build plates? We're building these all on a 12 by 12. It's all 1 foot by 1 foot. We're building these all on 12 by 12 inch things.
It's like
Guys, as we're heading into the last round here, those are our terrain trays, by the way. If you're not familiar with them, we do sell them on the store. We got a lot of different like skins to them. Some of them look like forest floors. We've got like lava. We've got gibbering mouther, all that stuff. They help with like stability and all that. But anyways, as we head into our final, wait, let me check music. Start it up again. As we head into our final round, I just want to thank you guys for the support today. This was a really great turnout. It's been a lot of fun messing around with you. Especially considering I was very nervous about heading into this week just because we're trying this big weird thing all week that hasn't been done before. Are we getting some new ones? Yeah, we're gonna build one more. They're setting up. They're grabbing the pieces to do ice caverns right now, and they're about done. So we're gonna get back into it right about now, actually. Lucky you can use the VOD to rebuild that mountain. Yeah, we'll be able to rebuild it. It'll be fine.
Or if anything, we touch it up, or like any of the builds. Nate will probably look at them and fiddle with them.
Yeah. I like to think what we're gonna do with the boss build is we'll just have it on the table and we'll just move the camera to it instead of moving the boss build in. Just because the boss build is
well, it's gonna
massive.
be 4 12 by 12, so.
Yeah. So
4 12 by 12s.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's
we're
gonna be
just doing
big.
the
It's gonna be
little
it's gonna be
corner.
big.
Yeah. I thought it was just a 4 by 12.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right.
4 12 by 12s. Words.
Okay, guys. We're ready to start the final round. We're gonna be doing ice caverns. You guys ready to go?
Oh, I see
I'm
what
ready.
you're saying. Yes,
All
I'm
right.
ready. I think.
3, 2, 1, go.
I think.
My brain just realized that by 4 12 by 12s, I was thinking the right thing. I just perceived it as 4 by 4 12 by 12s. So 16 12 by 12s.
You're like, oh my god.
Make a frost giant ice skating rink. Oh, you're done. Congratulations.
Grab one of those earth elementals. Give me a second.
I do like that initial idea of Toby just putting like 6 earth elementals.
Oh, dude.
It was like
so
Earth,
good.
It's like the Earth Elemental ballroom, but they don't notice you, so you have to be careful of them stepping on you. And for some reason, they're really quick.
Look, I'm here for the surf elementals, honestly.
And we always come back to sewer surfing.
Sewer surfing. When are we making a turtles build? This is kind of what we did.
Whenever we have free time.
The
That's
what
fair.
build?
The Ninja Turtles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
That'd be very fun.
If enough.
Oh, it looks like we're on track to finish this a little bit after 8.
Miles will kind of remember.
Which is not bad.
If Miles is still here, he'll kind of recognize what I'm thinking about doing.
Yeah. I don't know if he's still here or not. I saw Ame. Let's see. We need those big ice walls that you can hide a creature in. Discworld with earth elementals. Make a whole build out of corner fill scatter. Very excited to see what people end up doing. I think people are very interested in the ice caverns after the last build of the month.
It should be. It's a good set.
It's a really cool set. I was really surprised by how much that blew up, but people were really looking for a way into it, apparently. Didn't know the Stairway to Violence came in ice?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just the top.
So, not really, but
That's cute.
yes.
Polar owl bear lair. Oh, Miles is still here.
I'll
Excellent.
bear that for $1.
Miles, did you know what Tyler was going for? Because I didn't. Also doubles as a musical instrument. Yeah, that's the Stairway to Violins.
Okay, nice.
Yep, that's no stairway. Denied.
Oh, we made that gag in anything related to the
No,
Stairway to
we
Violins before?
should.
That's such a good gag.
Well, that's what we should do with the ice version of this or the Underdoom version of this, is because it doesn't have the bottom. We just say no stair. I don't know.
Underdoom has a bottom, right? Yeah.
The Underdoom?
Yeah.
Oh.
And she's climbing the stairway
It's.
to violence.
I wish we.
Eh.
It's something that always irked me, but.
We're in rewrites right now, you know. So who? No, probably not that. That's way different.
Wayne's World. Yeah, Wayne's World's a classic. I think that genuinely, that might be one of my favorite movies, honestly. One of my favorite comedies, at
Let me
least.
put it this way: I have an extensive collection of name tags and hairnets,
I don't even have a gun.
let alone many guns to necessitate an entire rack. What am I gonna do with a gun rack?
I just like that he says a gun. Like,
Yeah, a gun.
A gun.
Let alone many guns. I think the "let alone" part is really what gets
Oh,
me.
right.
Let alone many guns. So
Let
good.
alone miniguns. This is the first time I'm hearing of this stairway. I'm super intrigued. The Stairway to Violence was one of like the signature showpieces of Caverns Deep. It's a 2-part piece. It's got a base and a topper, and a lot of people really like it. It's just a nice elevation build up to like the top of this platform. So it's very cinematic. The idea of like you either put like an object that you're that the party needs to go get, or like the final fight could just be like them duking it out on top of this pillar.
Gross.
Put rolled cloth maps in a gun rack. That's fair. Stairway's great, and the base is really nice on its own too. Yeah, man. There's a so you see that black hole in the top of the
That's an actual.
top of the
black
stairway.
hole.
That's because somebody put yeah. That's because somebody put a bag of holding inside another bag of holding. No, there's a topper
Wait.
that you can put in to fill that in
What
if you don't want
happened
to
if you
put
try
the.
to
What's up?
reverse the bag of holding?
If you reverse the back of holding, that's
You can't
one
grab
of the
it from
ways-
the inside, but you
If
can
I
push
recall, if you reverse the bag of holding, it just dumps out all of the stuff. That's like the
Okay.
quick way to just dump everything out.
from. Okay.
But there's the
The theory that like if you put the bag of holding inside out, suddenly everything is inside the bag of holding.
no. There's the old Dead Alewives, joke where it's I turn the bag inside out, put it around me, and walk through the dungeon walls. It's like
Let's see. We should get a nice pitfall in one of these babies. Let's see what they're going for. Portable hole in a bag of holding or the reverse, not good. Yeah, don't do that. What happens if you pierce a bag of holding with with a Vorpal Sword?
Anything that punctures the bag from the outside destroys the contents inside.
Okay. It just collapses the
Yeah,
dimensional
it
space.
collapses the thing, and I love the idea more of it just does what you would do if you would just like poured it out. It just all of your stuff just starts pouring out. So that's always what I've run in my games. That's always the belief I've run with is.
Apparently, if you pierce the bag, everything is lost to the astral sea. It kills the connection between the bag and
That's
the
my
final
point.
dimension.
It's like if you destroy the bag, that makes sense.
It has to go somewhere. It can't
yeah.
literally.
I just think it's more fun if it just ended up in a very, very different way.
Is the bag of holding the most iconic magic item from the game?
No.
What would you consider the most iconic magic item?
Personally, I would say the Holy Avenger.
Really?
Yeah. But that's like, to me, that's like old school.
Yeah, I don't know if as many people. Deck of Many Things is a good one.
Yeah, Deck of Many Things is
Deck
good.
of mini things.
mini things.
Deck of mini things.
Deck of mini things.
Oh my god. like you draw it and like there's all these like incredible items
Also
in there,
a thing
but they're
that
all
we need to market somehow in our stuff. Deck of mini things. Like
yeah. That's so good. Like
very
literally
good.
it gives you some really cool stuff, but it's all like the size of a mouse. Mm-hmm. Hand of Vecna's easily up there.
I don't know. Okay, Hand of Vecna.
I feel like the Vecna stuff is
that's more of a-
specifically because of Critical Role, right?
Well, no, I mean Vecna is.
Vecna's, but like Critical Role didn't Critical Role like use it
at
a
the
lot
end
in
of the
campaign 1?
Yeah, they used
Yeah.
it to great effect. I just mean to say, if you're talking, your question was
Staff of the Magi,
Iconic
Portable Hole. Yeah.
items.
I guess
To me-
like the most well-known magic item that like
To me, Holy Avenger is up there. Holy Avenger is a very, very notable item.
it's fair. So people are saying Portable Hole, Staff of the Magi,
Mm-hmm.
+1 sword, Wand of Wonder, Karsamir. Immovable Rod is very good.
I do love it.
I don't know if everybody knows about it, but I feel like Immovable Rod is one of the items where if somebody hears about it, they're gonna love it.
Immovable Rod's rad.
It's just a fun item.
Yet another thing that Critical Role used to great effect.
Yeah.
It was when Vax was inside a dragon. So Liam O'Brien's character was inside a dragon, and as he's sitting there, he takes his rod and clicks it, and so Matt had to do like this like DM calculation where he's like, yeah. So you just rip through, like the rod just like rips through the dragon's like whole being. Not like they didn't kill the dragon. It just like poured through. It's like, jeez, so cool.
Vorpal Sword is high up for me. Girdle of Giant Strength.
But you see, the thing with Vorpal Sword for me is I don't think of that as a strictly D&D weapon. Vorpal Sword comes from Alice in Wonderland.
The Artificer's Bag of Holding arrow, where when it makes contact with a target, it pushes a bag of holding into another. Apparently, it has like a bag of holding on the.
Cool.
Wand of Wonders, Wand of Fire, Boots of Haste / Speed. Dude, the Boots of Springing and Striding are some of my favorite items. Cloak of Elvenkind's really good. So are the Boots of Elvenkind. Elvenkind stuff in general is. If you can deck yourself out in
It's
Elvenkind
hard.
stuff.
So the question is like, yeah, what's the most iconic? That's a hard question because it's like, or what's the most?
I feel like every campaign
memorable.
is going to have some magical item that becomes like the one that everybody remembers fondly from that campaign.
Right. I think Bag of Holding probably. I know I said Holy Avenger, but as I'm thinking, it's like Bag of Holding is probably really high up there.
I think you'll find more players who don't know what the Holy Avenger is than you'll find players who don't know what the Bag of Holding is.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
What time are we at?
5 minutes left. Elven Chainmail is a go-to
I
punchline
don't
for
know
D&D nerd on awful TV show.
I like yours though.
10-foot pole.
I don't know what to do
Oh,
with it.
health potion. Health potions are cheating.
Good.
Broom of Flying, Machine of Lum the Mad,
I wonder if you could take
Wand of Magic Missile.
one of these.
I'll figure it out. Yeah,
and,
but
yeah.
maybe I was maybe going to do another wall, but yeah.
Shooting shrunken cannonballs
Ooh,
through an anti-magic
that.
ring. Dude.
I was trying to see if it's gonna hold.
Nice.
Sphere of Annihilation. I like Deck of Mini thing for the web store. Buy it and a card draws after you pay, and you get one mini or flavor bit from like the alchemy set. How about what
If
is the
we
most
could do
iconic
that.
spell? Most iconic spell, Fireball's got to be up there.
Iconic spell.
Magic Missile's got to be up there.
Magic Missile. I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you right now. Magic Missile or Magic Missile, Lightning Bolt, Fireball. Top 3. Not my top 3 favorite, but like most recognizable.
Yeah, I feel like Magic Missiles. Because I feel like even somebody who has only played like a couple sessions of a game at low levels will be familiar with with Fireball or Magic Missile.
Yeah.
Like I feel like those spells kind of carry outside of people who are actually like playing a lot of D&D. I feel like those are the ones that are most likely to be known outside of the hobby itself. See invisibility. I cast Magic Missile at the darkness.
I attack the darkness.
Tasha's hideous laughter.
You guys are being attacked. Do I see that happening?
Oh, somebody brought up Eldritch Blast. That's kind of a good point.
I don't know about Eldritch Blast. I don't know.
Eldritch Blast is up there, I think.
For 5th edition, yeah.
Okay, if we're talking about D&D as a whole,
That's why I was
Yeah.
bringing up Holy Avenger.
Yeah.
The question, I'm sorry. When I heard the question, that's what I was thinking. It was like, in the entirety of D&D, what are the more recognizable? That's what I would think.
if we're talking about the entirety of the thing, like,
It's a much harder question.
Fireball and Magic Missile have like been standbys for
Years.
so long. Yeah.
Ah,
I'm attacking the darkness. Don't attack the darkness. They're a good group. I believe in a thing called love. LARP 3 times and couldn't get into it too much, even though I worked as a Ren Fair for 7 years. I want to LARP at some point. I've never gotten to do it. And I've only been to a Ren Fair once, so. I believe in a thing called love.
I know that this group really enjoys LARPing, and I
Yeah. That's the thing, is the team would go out and LARP a lot. And now that I'm actually like at the company a lot, a pandemic is stopping us from ever LARPing. So, just listen to my heart. Dude, is I Believe in a Thing Called Love like one of the most challenging vocal songs that still gets done at karaoke a lot?
Under Pressure is another one. Or
I feel like I Believe in a Thing Called Love is more difficult just because of how fast you have to go during a lot of it.
Yeah. So if you're talking like difficulty of like being able to speak it, yeah, it's more.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bare Naked Ladies, 1 week.
it's been.
Yeah. One
Yeah,
week
man.
is the verses of 1 week are kind of difficult to do.
Yeah.
And that still gets done quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't hear people do Bohemian Rhapsody a lot at karaoke.
I have.
I feel like other
do
Queen
not
songs
like
get
that
done more
song.
often.
Really?
It just because I listen to a song more for melody.
Under Pressure is
And
one
that's
of my, Under
just
Pressure is
all
one of
over
my
the
favorite
place.
karaoke songs,
Gotcha.
though.
It's like to me, it's just like since it's mostly just words and just like it just
Under Pressure sneaks up on you. I Believe in a Thing Called Love It. Yeah, the thing is, Under Pressure.
Kind
I
of.
get you.
We got 1 minute left. Yeah, Under Pressure.
Or maybe
Under
I'm
Pressure has
exaggerating
the
a little
one.
bit there, but yeah.
Under Pressure has the one really
It didn't help that
iconic
most
high
people
note.
just are crazy about
Whereas
it.
I think I Believe in a Thing Called Love is asking you to like constantly go all over the place. I think I Believe in a Thing Called Love like
Under Pressure or Somebody to Love
Somebody to Love is harder than Under Pressure, I think.
have the thing I would say is they have more of a range than I Believe in a Thing Called Love. I Believe in a Thing Called Love, you're here the whole time. And then you go here at the chorus. But
Yeah.
like you at least have it's the difference in range. It's like it's why you know that the guy who was singing in the darkness was using his falsetto, but why Freddie Mercury was probably still within his range.
It depends how comfortable you are being in that high register the whole time.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
that's that.
that.
If you sign up to do Bohemian Rhapsody, you get banned from the bar. Dude, I wish they would just throw people out who do Bohemian Rhapsody.
Again, no stairway.
I've never. No stairway. Denied. Tyler, this is karaoke go-to songs. I mean,
Maybe it's funnier if you do it.
if I list yours,
Yeah. Maybe it's like maybe it's funny. I'm trying to think like maybe it's funnier if you try to like tell people what you think my go-tos are. Or what you've experienced my go-tos as.
you like to do Somebody to Love
Yeah, that's really
a
fun.
lot.
That's fun.
Under Pressure is one of your go-to for duets.
Yep. Sing with my
Um,
brother a lot.
I know because we share
yes.
that one, and you also do that with your brother.
Very cool.
Thanks.
I've heard you do I Believe in a Thing Called Love a couple times. I don't know if it's one of your go-tos, but I've heard you do it fairly often.
Yeah. I love singing. So the short answer is I love singing Queen. I do like singing Talking Heads, even though they're not like the band I know the
They
best.
usually don't have the stuff that's most interesting
No,
from Talking
they
Heads
don't.
at
They don't have
karaoke.
like strange overtones or whatever.
Which
so.
sucks, because I love...
You want to show these off?
Yeah, let's actually do the thing that we're here to do. All right. I guess Tyler goes first this time? Just
Yep.
like we went last time?
I'm just gonna set this here and then put it
it
up
on
because
after.
it's gonna.
Yeah.
So have to find a way to make that stable, but
A lot of white stick.
well, we could also put something under it. There's space for
Yeah, we can make it stable.
a block or something.
Yeah.
So we can have people run up to the stairway.
Mm-hmm.
And so are you
Can you even use this piece?
so is the
Yeah.
dead end the
Just
the
like-
terrain tray part? And so like
Mhm.
okay, so we can have something in the water maybe.
You'd have to. What I was thinking was this was the corner, right?
Okay, so you come in from the terrain tray part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Don't Stop Me Now is that you've done Don't Stop Me Now a couple times as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Don't stop me. That's what I was gonna say. It's like that's why I said like I love singing Queen. I know pretty much their entire library, so I sing a bunch of it. I love Hammer to Fall. That's one of my absolute favorites to sing.
Hammer to Fall is extremely good.
It's a very good song. So yeah, so I'm thinking. I feel like I get really interested in like focal points in these maps where I'm just like, where do I want you to go? And that's where I'm thinking here, right? Is that it's just like you want to come in here, and then there's this like something just constantly coming. So that's why it doesn't have any like corners or anything. It's not like walled off. Something is just stepping into this space consistently.
Yeah. When I saw this, I thought the opposite thing, where this was a corner, but like the ice zombies or something will be coming in from
That
this side.
totally
Like either
worked
way,
too.
it works either way.
Yeah, because there's that little spot, right? So it's like you could have it coming in this way, and then there's just this never-ending exude of something coming to get you as you're trying to do something. And that's kind of what I'm like. That's what I'm most interested in, and that's what I'm thinking about the most when I'm doing this. And I think you could even then bring out some of the ice walls, and you could do some interesting things like block that off.
Yeah.
Or it with
go
either
there.
direction, right? Like,
Yeah.
could be cool. Because you could try to funnel them into this space instead. Like this, 2 people can move in through this.
Yeah.
Only one can move through that.
Yeah.
So.
They're like, that's how you get to the tower. You see,
Yeah. I like this alcove here a lot.
Yeah. I mean, like that could be interesting to try to like. There's a little ladder or something in here that actually gets you to the start of the stairs and then up there.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what I'm thinking.
all right, Toby.
Here, I'll put my hand here.
Yeah, that
Let's-
works.
Let's take that and then easier.
Oh fuck! I still managed to mess that up. Okay, so I think it's something like
It was that, right?
yeah,
And then this guy hit here.
yeah, and then
And then like that, right? Yeah. Cool.
okay, I made a corner that has a pit.
I love it.
You got a little ice bath or
Yeah.
something.
Hard to see in that angle, but I used the trifecta walls to make a pit. I thought we had more elevation in ours. I could have sworn because I thought I saw like the
You
The
know what's
cliff?
not in there?
what?
Some of the blocks didn't get put in ice. You know, so
No,
like
none
the,
of that-
the
no
hollow,
elevation, but-
nothing. Neither did the elevation steps.
Yeah. So I did. Yeah, and we only made one side of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still didn't feel complete, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's a corner, step to go into the pit. I don't know what's in there. And I used the walls again up there and the stalagmites to make it seem like the walls rising.
Dude, you know what else? Purple worm.
People
Oh,
are
yeah,
saying,
purple worm.
It could. Oh no, because there's the oh god, it's not a frost worm. You could put a frost worm coming out of that instead.
you're saying put a light panel in the pit. Actually,
Oh,
is
that's
that large
cool.
enough for the light
But
buck?
the problem
It
is,
would be a bit big.
yeah, the problem is I couldn't really find anything to like really seal off, like the floors. So they're kind of awkward, but
Well, at that point too,
Yeah.
that's what's interesting here is now that I said that, it's like actually, if you changed this floor into something else on that corner, or just like a bunch of like different 2x, we could probably actually put a light panel right there.
I'm not sure. Yeah,
You would lose
Interesting.
this. Well, you wouldn't lose that at all. Yeah, you could actually probably put a light panel right there.
light panels would be kind of cool with this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, and we have that overlays that we can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cover-
Yeah. You could put something on that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and get the
So,
vote
yeah.
started between these two. This will be the last one for the night.
Oops.
That might already have to leave.
All right. You can vote in chat between Tyler and Toby. This will be the last room there. Don't forget the trap. I think we can put a trap in any of these rooms, honestly. They've all got a lot going on. Free Elsa. Giant trapdoor phase spider would be great. Underground hot spring in the pit.
Face spider or face spider?
Phase.
Both.
Okay.
Like a
The
blink spider.
sculptulas?
What's up? What are you looking
No,
at?
you can't.
Oh, are you gonna put the?
I was just like,
No, it goes in there.
No, I will. I was thinking about that. That's all.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's been such a sweet stream. I'm glad you're enjoying it. These Build Jam streams. when we did it during Wildlands, it was a lot of fun. So when we were talking about what we'd like to bring back for the anniversary week, we needed another stream, and it was like, why don't we find a way to work this into the game? And it's been fun. It's been a good 2 hours.
I'm bad at karaoke. I cannot remember. Like
If you're gonna say you can't remember the lyrics, I really would have laughed at you.
No, any song I don't. As I said, I listen to the song from melody, so I never. Even my favorite songs, I don't remember those. Yeah. I remember some points, but just like a karaoke, That's.
I think my biggest thing with karaoke in general is always like, if you're not having a good time, there's no reason to do it, because like, I don't care a lot about quality.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sitting there like, I would really only like to go to karaoke with good singers, but I definitely want better intention of song choice. If I see a gaggle of like New Jersey girls, like suburban moms, walk up and like start doing like Dr. Dre, I'm like, all right. Funny.
My favorite thing, like my favorite thing. We're a bunch of white girls, and we're gonna do
rap, and I'm like, cool.
But like the whole time, it's just them kind of like shouting and laughing at each other, and not actually doing the song. And
it's like,
all
right.
right. I'm glad this is happening over the conversation I was trying to have.
So that's usually my feeling on it. Is I was like, yeah,
Or like when
that's how I'm
or like when a frat guy goes up and he's like, I'm gonna do Alanis Morissette, and it's just like, and it's just him like,
I love
being
the thought
obnoxious.
of a frat bro going up and doing Alanis Morissette. They're like thinking,
if they do it earnestly, that's great.
Yeah.
But it's always like, I'm gonna do a bad. It's always like when they get up and just like, I'm just gonna do a really bad girl impression. It's like, all right, seen this joke before.
Yeah. I know how this plays out. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. And
there?
Yep. Toby with the clean sweep.
What?
Yeah. That fucking the thing, dude. This thing in here.
Like,
it's so interesting. It's so interesting. I want to know what's in there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a problem to do a rap song. It's when people get up there and it's like they're not actually doing the song to do the song, but it's like we're gonna like it's like a very like.
Yeah.
They chuckle to themselves and to you, like, hey, get it? And I'm like,
it's just like this very insecure, like, validation-seeking thing, and it's just like, this is just...
But back to this.
Yes. All right, hey, the build.
You're not talking about things that they aren't talking about. I just mean to say, like...
Yeah.
But that's my point. I really want to know what's inside that hole, and... It's a white hole I'd love to explore in its depth.
Oh man.
I'm just gonna start putting some pieces away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't like. I did that and just didn't know how to like.
Is tomorrow another 6 p.m. stream? No. So tomorrow is 7 p.m. It's our usual on the anvil time, and it'll be the writers' room. It'll be the writers' room, where we're gonna take all these builds that we selected, both the ones that you guys have submitted, and also this boss room that we're now gonna put together, and decide what's all gonna happen there. Gonna design the game basically tomorrow night. So that'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then both Thursday and Friday streams will also be starting at 6 p.m. Eastern. On Thursday,
interesting story.
On Thursday, we'll be painting all the minis for the game, and then on Friday we'll be playing the game itself. Will we see it all assembled? Yeah. On Wednesday, we're gonna have all of the builds assembled, and we'll be moving them in one by one tomorrow night and figuring out what's gonna be happening in each one. That is the plan for tomorrow. 6 p.m. too bad. Cuts into Pacific folks' work. Yeah, it's a tough thing because like we're also trying to like accommodate. We have people in the EU who watch, and also we're on the East Coast, so we're trying to be done before too long. And we also have to schedule it around like the work stuff we have to do and all that. But man, thank you guys for coming out.
I think you can say what you were going to say now. I think he was just in the middle of saying what
Yeah,
the
I
rest of
realized.
the week was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
you
I
guys
realized
have
that we have mics on us.
yeah, that's the weird part.
Yeah. No, I was saying that it felt like yours had a lot more not story, but like player interaction things, and I would just I don't know, just building off of
Well, that's the
elements,
thing, right? Is that I was thinking about the cool things that you could do inside.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, it was like, when you looked at it, I had to describe to you what I wanted to do. When I look at yours, and
I saw that instantly with that
okay,
one.
cool.
Yeah.
No, I just mean to say that I feel like I had to explain mine a little bit more.
Yeah.
Whereas with yours, there's oh, cool, this could be 10 different things, right? So it's like I think what the difference there for me was that what I liked seeing in yours was you built this thing that I could end up still making 5 stories out of. So it's
okay.
I appreciated that about your stuff, and I know that mine was cool. I have this thought about what you could do with all these things that I'm building, but yours just ended up having this cool interest in it as well, where I'm I don't know what this is. That gives me time, whereas that mine felt a little bit more constrained to having to be a thing. So
Maybe. Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, I had fun. It sounds like everybody else had fun. Thank you for coming out to the stream. This was the first of the 4 streams this week. So don't forget to come in the rest of the week if you want to. Tomorrow's going to be the most interactive one until the game, because we'll be designing everything. So this one was pretty interactive, but I mean tomorrow, literally, we're building the game with people's feedback. Which
You and I should just get in chat and be like, butts.
Yeah, it's
What's in here? Butts.
we'll actually just fill
what's in the white hole? Big white hole butts.
we get to the game on Friday, and they're going through every room. And there's all these puzzles have to do with butts.
It's yes.
I don't. I'm a little worried
Bring
about
out all my ghost accounts, my ghost Twitch accounts.
I was really excited to be playing in this game, but now I don't know.
I don't know about this. Anyway,
kind of regretting this. Anyway, thanks for coming out, guys. Have a good night, and we will see you all tomorrow for the writers' room.
Be well, do well.
Farewell. Hey, that worked.
Kill your grandpa.
Wait.
What?
He's in back. He's watching. He's lying in wait.
My grandpa?
Yeah.
He's dead.
Well, good work.